Welcome back everyone. In our today's lecture of organizational behavior, in the previous lecture we basically discussed the basic roles of managers, the structure of our OB model and the importance of balancing the intuition with systematic study. In the second part, we will extend these ideas further, explore more examples and understand how the managers apply OB in their daily work. Let us begin by discussing why relying on the intuition can create serious problems in the organizations. Intuition is shaped by personal experiences and emotions. If the managers had a bad experience with previous employee who worked from home, that the manager may assume that the work from home employees are always less productive. These assumptions become the part of their intuition, but it may not reflect on the truth. Modern research shows that many employees actually perform better in flexible working environments. Similarly, if the manager believes that the older employees cannot learn new technology, that belief also becomes the part of intuition. Even even though the research proves that the learning ability is not limited by age, when the managers act on such biased intuitions, they make unfair and ineffective decisions. This is why the systematic study becomes very important. Systematic studies allows the managers to analyze real data and make evidence-based decisions. Suppose a managers feel that consumer complaints have increased because the employees are careless. This might be the manager's intuition. But when a managers check the data, they may discover that the complaints increased after the company has changed its supplier. It means the reason is something else, and uh, due to changing of the suppliers, we receive lower quality materials. This means the real problem is not in employees but in the material quality. Without the systematic study, the manager would have punished the wrong people. So the data protect the organizations from that decisions. Systematic study also helps the managers to predict the behavior. For example, researchers have found that the employees who feel their work is meaningful are more committed. Employees who feel ignored or underappreciated tend to leave the organization. Managers can use these insights to improve motivation. Instead of guessing what the employees want, they can design proper reward system, recognition programs and development opportunities based on the evidence. Now, let us connect this with our OB model again, individuals, group and organizations. At the individual level, a manager who understands OB knows personally the traits like conscientiousness are linked to performance. A conscientious employee is always organized, responsible and reliable. This is not an assumption, it is research finding. So, during hiring, instead of guessing, managers can use personality test to select the employees who can set fit to a job. At the group level, OB teaches managers how the teams function. A managers who understand OB knows that their communication is essential for teamwork. For example, if the team is struggling to meet the deadlines, the managers might think that the team members are not serious. But the systematic study of a group behavior may show that the instructions were unclear or the roles were not assigned properly. By improving the communication, the manager can improve performance without blaming the individuals. At the organization level, OB help OB or the organizational behavior help the managers to understand how culture shapes the behavior. A strong culture can increase motivation and reduce the turnover, but a toxic culture can drive good employees away. Managers should not guess whether the culture is healthy or not. They can conduct surveys, feedback sessions, and performance analysis to understand what the employees truly feel. Now, let us move to the practical and managerial applications. Managers use OB principles in planning, leading, organizing, and controlling. When planning, the managers use OB to predict employees' reactions to new strategies. When organizing, they use OB to design teams with the right mix of skills and personalities. When the leading role comes, they apply the OB by motivating the employees, building trust, and communicating effectively. When controlling, they use OB to evaluate the performance justly and develop the reward system. Let us now take a very simple example. Imagine a manager who wants to implement new digital attendance system without the knowledge of organization behavior. The manager might just announce that the change and expect everyone to accept it. But with OB understanding, the manager knows that the employees resist change when they feel that they are insecure. So the managers would communicate clearly, explain the benefits of providing the trainings, and address the concerns. This approach reduces the resistance and increases the acceptance. Now we are going to take another example. Imagine a team which is not performing well. An inexperienced manager might blame that the team members thinking that they may not be competent, but an OB aware manager would study the situation systematically. The problem could be lack of clarity, lack of resources, communication and breakdown, or workload imbalance. By identifying the real cause, the managers can solve the problem more effectively. Organizational behavior also helps the manager to understand the emotions. Emotions that affect the decision making, teamwork, consumer behavior, and leadership. A manager who ignores the emotions may misjudge the employees. For example, an employee who looks upset might not be lazy or might be stressed due to some personal issues. But an OB aware manager understands emotional intelligence and can respond with empathy. Now, let us talk about how the OB improves the leadership. Good leaders do not simply instruct, they inspire. The OB teaches the leaders how to build trust and develop the followers, communicate clearly, and create a positive environment. Research shows that the employees follow leaders who are fair, respectful, and supportive. A leader who shouts or threatens may succeed temporarily but may fail in the long run because fear destroys the motivation. Organizational behavior also highlights the power of reinforcement. People repeat behaviors that are rewarded. If you appreciate an employee for coming early, they will continue to do so. If the employees get recognition for teamwork, they will cooperate more. Managers can shape the behavior by rewarding the positive actions and giving the constructive feedback for their improvement. So, in the final part of this lecture, let us understand why OB is becoming more and more important in modern workplaces. So, basically, today's organizations are diverse. Employees come from different background, employees come from different culture and experiences. Managers must understand human differences. Workplaces are becoming more digital. Remote working, virtual communication, and online collaboration require strong OB understanding. The business world is changing rapidly. Employees face higher stress, more competition, and constant change. Managers must use OB to maintain the motivation and well being. So, in order to sum up, organizational behavior gives the manager knowledge that they need to work with people effectively. It basically teaches them to understand the human behavior scientifically rather than just going on the guesswork or intuitions. It will help to build strong teams, create healthy cultures, and make fair decisions. A successful manager uses both intuition and systematic study, but the systematic study guides long term decisions and concludes about the overall behavior in the organization. With these closing notes, I conclude my lecture. And hopefully we will be back in our next lecture with a separate agenda regarding to organizational behavior. Till then, take good care of yourself and Allah Hafiz.